Hey ladies and gentlemen, Rich Kenobi here, and yes, as you can see, a new Dragon Ball Z shirt, and this is the Resurrection F1. If you want one like this, or many others, go to Hot Topic. So yeah, here's my review for Resurrection F, and oh my god, if you can't tell, I know you guys can't tell, but my eyes are just, they're red, because this was such an awesome movie yesterday. When I went to see it, I went to, of course, I went to see it with Mrs. Kenobi and my brother and little sister, but, just being in a theater around maybe close to 100 people who were Dragon Ball Z fans, most of them were, my age to their late 30s, and there were not many kids in there, so this was for us, and just to be there and, be around the same people, who love the same thing I've grown to love, you've grown to love. It was amazing. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the movie, but because if you have not seen this movie, I suggest you go see it. It's only got, one more day, because by the time I upload this, it's already going to be Tuesday. So go see it. Tomorrow, Wednesday, is the last day. So go see it. This is a must-see. Don't go see Fantastic Four. Don't go see Pixels. I mean, you can go see Ant-Man or Mission Impossible if you want to, but go see this. This is amazing. This was really, really good, and I would, I would say this is a little bit better than Battle of Gods, but I like them both equally. So, let me talk about my experience first, then I'll talk about the movie. Because the experience is the one thing, I gotta get off my chest. It was the greatest experience of my life. Because immediately going in, as soon as I got my beverages, my popcorn, and, I was, just looking around and just seeing all these Dragon Ball Z fans who love this as much as I do. Just seeing them all there with me, it was great. And being there with my lovely girlfriend, my little brother and sister, it was great, And just seeing, and of course they had a trivia show, which I got most of them right, and, of course, but when the movie started, I literally fell back into my childhood. I felt like a kid again, and when I saw Mr. Akira Toriyama's name, a part of me just, cried on the inside, because it was great to see, this. The whole movie, the experience was great, in certain scenes. This movie had great comedy. There were more funnier moments here that are funnier than Battle of Gods, because Battle of Gods tried to have a little bit of humor, but this was a bit more better, and I liked the jokes. They weren't forced. They came out of nowhere, or they just fit the mood. When a joke hits, it didn't take a long 15-second pause. Whenever it hit, people instantly started laughing because they loved the joke. There was a lot of good jokes in here. There was a little bit of good references here and there. And I liked, because whenever someone would get burned, or someone would throw insults, everyone would say, ooh. Whenever there was a joke, or there was a funny moment, or there was something that looked and was funny, everybody started laughing. Everybody laughed a lot more than they were cheering. In that scene where, oh man, that scene where Vegeta turned Super Saiyan God, because that's what I gotta talk about. When Vegeta turned Super Saiyan God, everybody started going crazy. Everybody was cheering, clapping, everybody was going crazy. And of course, when it ended, when the credits hit, everybody stood up, gave their applause, cheered. Everybody walked out the theater smiling and talking about the film. It was just great. It was literally the best experience I've ever had in my life. It's one I'm never going to forget, because obviously when this comes out to Blu-ray, I will buy it. I may even review it for you guys if you want me to. And I'll sort of get back to unboxings and stuff. But now let's talk about the film, because there's not much to talk about, the story, because if you've already seen the film online, or you've been spoiled, then this story, so of course, you know this story. So, I will talk about some spoilers here and there, but I'm mainly going to keep this short, because you've already seen this, or chances are someone's told you about it, but if you don't want it spoiled, click out, go watch one of my other videos, or, you know, just go watch it yourself. Get a ticket and, you know, enjoy yourself. But, you know, overall, I liked how Frieza was brought back, and I liked how they explained how he came back and how he wasn't in his machine form. That was pretty good. I liked that. I like the comedy overall. Really, the comedy more than anything. You know, the jokes hit. When they hit, they hit. Everybody started laughing. And they weren't corny jokes. No. These were genuine, funny moments that instantly people saw, they laughed. And I think that's what's great. And you know, the action was amazing. I mean, the main fight between Goku and Frieza was one of the best. It's like Dragon Ball. Like one of the Dragon Ball subscribers I'm subscribed to, I think even he put it best himself. This is one of the best fights that's ever been done. This is the best fight I've ever seen, and it was. It's definitely in my top 10. It's definitely in the top 10 awesome Dragon Ball Z fights because, you know, there was awesome animation too. There was a little bit of 3D animation like there was in the last one, but this time it only came up in certain moments. They didn't abuse it. They didn't, you know, spam the hell out of it. It was used when appropriate, and I liked that. It was mainly used for some of, you know, the fighting, you know, it wasn't used for the choreography. It was used for some of the degrees or the effects. It just looked amazing, and a lot of people were saying, the 3D's a little shallow. I liked it. I didn't care because, you know, I saw amazing animation, and this is... And yes, even though Dragon Ball Super Episode 5, or as I like to call it, the Mixed Bag episode, even though, yes, the animation in that fight was sometimes not good at times and a little bit horrible, but this one was a lot better, and I think, you know, this is good, you know, it really was the best animation Dragon Ball Z's ever had, ever. It's even better than Battle of Gods animation, really is. You know, I like that Krillin was a cop, you know, he did stuff, you know, he's a lot more active, and they actually explained how he shaved his head. I won't spoil that. I won't spoil it, but when you do see it, then you'll know why he's bald again. I like the fact, you know, that, you know, I mean, because, like I said, I mean, the fighting itself was awesome. I like the fight with the Z fighters, because the Z fighters started to fight. You know, and I like how this film took its time, but it didn't go too... The editing and the pacing were perfect. Beyond perfect. You know, this is... You know, so it didn't take its time. It jumped straight into it, you know. There was no messing around with this film. This film never messed around. It never felt slow or inconsistent at times. It was perfect. You know, pure perfect. You know, again, I liked the ending, even though a lot of people said the ending was... They didn't like the ending, and that's fine. I can understand why you didn't like the ending. But overall, you know, I think, you know, this was good. You know, it really was. It was great seeing... the voice acting, I gotta talk about this, because the voice acting has never been better. You know, because a lot of people said the voice acting in this movie, in Resurrection F, is a lot better. And I agree with that, because everybody sounds their part. Especially Chris. I can't remember his last name, but I know his first name is Chris. He does an amazing job as Frieza. You know, I like this guy. I like his Frieza voice, because he's got a little bit of the old Frieza voice, and a little bit of he combines, you know, Mark Hamill's Joker voice with Frieza's light voice and puts them together. It really does sound like that. I'm surprised no one has made that comparison. Because he sounds like, you know, Mark Hamill a little bit. Mark Hamill's Joker, and I really like that. You know, Sean Shamel, Chris Sabat, Sonny, everybody was great in this film. All of the people performed their... the voices were perfect. That's all I gotta say. Everyone did their part wonderful. I wish I could go into more detail, but unfortunately, I'm very tired. But whatever. This film, overall, was perfect. You know, the writing was great. You know, I really did. I liked it. You know, I just like this film overall. You know, really, really good stuff, you know. And I know, you know, some of this may lack what Battle of Gods had, but no, this was just... I would still say this is better than Battle of Gods. I still love Battle of Gods, but this really is better because there's no way around it. And I know some of you may prefer Battle of Gods over this. Well, that's fine. You know, you people have every right. But I'm saying from my standpoint, because honestly, and that's another thing, the opening, perfect. Just wonderful. Go watch that. Go watch this movie and you'll see what I'm talking about. You know, and when I saw the Dragon Ball, the logo, and I saw the because the same theme from the last one, from Battle of God, the same opening from Battle of Gods opened, the one with the Chala, had Chala, but it was done in a better fashion that wasn't like Flo's version. Whenever I saw that opening, I literally hopped back into my childhood. So, yeah, guys, overall, wonderful film. Very, very good stuff here. I was impressed. I knew this film would be great, and now it has done this movie has grossed over $5 million. It's been doing so good at the box. It's done better at the box office than Battle of Gods did, because Battle of Gods overall made over $2 million. This one has done more than that. You know, it really, really has. You know, and it's in the top 10 animated theatrical movies of all time. It's in the top 10 highest grossing anime movies of all time. You know, it's the number 10 spot. And congratulations to that, because that deserves that title. This movie deserves everything. If you are a Dragon Ball Z fan, if you're a casual Dragon Ball Z fan, or if you're an old school Dragon Ball Z fan like I am, you'll love this movie. And even if you're not a Dragon Ball Z fan, you'll still love this. You know, you won't feel like this movie is trying to force the fan base and down your throat. You will genuinely love this movie. You know, and you're going to want to, and you'll probably want to know more about this. So yeah, overall, really good movie. I mean, you know, no problems here. I loved it. From beginning to end, like everybody else, I loved it, and I will never forget this experience. This is probably the greatest early birthday present ever, because next week is my birthday, and this was probably the best early birthday present I ever could have gotten. The little kid inside of me is very, very happy. So, overall, I would give Dragon Ball Z Resurrection F a 9 out of 10. Easily. I know a lot of people have been giving it 8 out of 10s, but I'm going above that because I do things differently. And apologies if I gave Dragon Ball Z Super Episode 5 a 9 out of 10. If it makes you feel any better, I've lowered the score to a 7 out of 10, if that makes it better. So apologies for the apologies if I caused controversy. But anyway, guys, what did you think of this film? If you saw this film, let me know. What did you think of it? Did you like it more than Battle of Gods, or would you still love Battle of Gods more than this? Let me know. And for those of you who haven't seen it, tell me down below, will you go see it, or will you just wait till this comes out on Blu-ray? But until then, guys, this is Richard Kenobi saying, may the Force be with you. Later, Dragon Ball Z fans.